Hello, my name's Charles. Welcome to CBIT. Today we're going to be recasing a couple of these Dell machines into other cases which we've got from auction. The reason we're doing this is these cases do not easily allow 2.5-inch SSDs to be installed. So I've got a couple of cases which we won from the auction. Those do have capacity to be able to put them in. So I'm going to transfer these over into those cases, and we'll have two machines which are tidy and can be used. If you like this sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment and hit the bell notification for upcoming videos. Right, let's get straight into it. First thing we need to do is we are going to strip out everything from these from the old computer. So first thing I'm going to do is just disconnect all of the cables. Oh, that's tight. Right, so that's all the cables disconnected. Oh, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. I've just seen that the power button connector is a bit different to what we normally have, but let's give it a go. I should take the power supply out first. So now one of the cases we've got doesn't have a power supply. So I'm going to put this into the other case. Might as well use as much of the same equipment as we can. The problem with these Dell machines is you've got no upgradability for on the power supplies. So if you wanted to put a dedicated graphics card in which needed power, there's no power on here to do it. You've got your motherboard power and 4 SATA. That is it. This is why I don't like pre-built machines. I prefer to build them all up with components which are readily available. They are easier to be upgraded, easier to be maintained, easier to replace parts if there are any issues with the parts. Things with machines like Dell, they are made to a budget, and if you don't want something, if you don't need something now, they won't put it on, which means then if you want it in the future, tough. Yeah, you can put a basic graphics card in as long as it's not powered. If not, you need a better power supply. Right, that's all the screws undone. That's taken out. Give that a quick dust down. Take the one drive out as well. Can't even take that out without taking the case off. just going to get rid of this case. I'm going to put it to one side, because you never know when you might get a Dell case and Dell PC in, and the case is all bashed up. So I will put this to one side. If I don't use it within a few weeks, months, I will get it disposed of. Right, let's pop out the back shield as well. Life, what they've done, glue this in. That's a tight fit. There we go. I'm going to need that. So this is the case we're going to be putting it in. This one is the Aerocool CS105. So I did win this at auction with the same time as these machines. And I'm taking the front and, well, both side panels off actually, so that way we don't scratch the panels. This case is very flimsy. The Dell case is actually made of thick material. Whoa, there's no weight to that at all. Let's get the screws out, because I will need those for the SSD. So on these ones, you can put an SSD on the back there, you can put an SSD in there, you can put an SSD in the bottom. So we've got 3 SSD slots in here, which we haven't got in the Dell at all. There are some bits which we won't be using on here, like we won't be using the USB 3, because I don't think there is a USB 3 header on here. Might be wrong, but well, I don't think there is. It's IO shield installed. That is really tight. Again, it was tight to get out, so I'm not surprised. Make sure the bits in like this. Oh, I like that. On this, they've cut away part of the cage here for the hard drive, so you can fit your motherboard in at an angle. That makes it easier to try and put in. Right. Making sure that all the little metal plugs and stuff are on the IO sheet or on top of where they need to be. Okay, so we can't use the screws from the case, from the original motherboard then, because they don't fit. I'm not surprised. Let's try these little black ones. Oops. Got a mind of their own. They're the ones which we need. So just going to get these screwed in. one. So I'm installing the original power supply in this case. This one doesn't have any RAM, so let's try another stick of HP memory in this one. Again, these are 4 gig sticks. Right. We might as well get the SSD installed as well. Right, so we can just install the SSDs in here. We won't install it in that one because the power cable won't reach. What we can do, we can install it in this one. Don't know if these are the right screws, we'll find out in a minute. There we go, so that's the SSD mounted on the back of the board, and because it's there I can actually plug in the power cable here that it would fit, unlike if it was at the back. And okay. Go. Walk around and get installed. There. So we've got the hard drive in, well, SSD in. Let's get the motherboard is cabled in. Let's see what fun I/O we could have. Okay, I've got audio, I've got USB. So we've got the audio is the yellow one over here. So let's bring that down and around. Just that one. Oh, that's tight. Oh, bloody hell. Right. And also on here we have got USB. Which is, we can put that on that green one. Just like that. So what else have we got? We've got USB 3/USB. I just plugged in the USB, so I don't think that one will work on USB 3, so I'm going to put it, as it's got the USB connector, I'm going to put it on the other USB header. Hopefully that will give us normal USB, not USB 3 speeds and connectivity, so we're not losing out on the actual port. That's something I can test later. If it is, that's quite a nice little design. I haven't seen that before. What else have we got? So we've got the power, the button, the power light, we've got the reset button, we've got the hard disk drive LED. But we do not have that many pins on this motherboard. No idea which ones are which. Well, there's no reset switch, so we can get rid of the reset switch. So that one's the power. That one we need. So we don't need the reset switch, and we don't need the hard disk drive LED because that isn't on there either. So that's the power LED. So let's just for a moment just wrap those up out of the way. I think this might just be a bit of trial and error. So let's shut down this PC next to us so I can use the bits we need for it. USB, power and HDMI. Let's plug in the HDMI. And we can plug in the power. And I can start working out. Oh, it started automatically. Please don't start automatically, I don't want that. Right, I now need to work out which right, okay, so that looks like it's the power switch that side. Does these fit on? Yes, they do. Oops. Not this side. There we go. So let's try again. Take the power out for a second. Put that in there. Of course it's just going to turn on. Okay, let's that works. I'm hoping power LEDs are next to them. Right. Right, I've just hopefully put the LEDs on as well. Oh. Well, I think I put those on the wrong way because it's on when it's off. There we go. Power light on, that's working. Let's see what errors we've got. Okay, previous fan failure, yeah. Rear fan failure, well there's no rear fan on. Power button cable failure, front I/O cable failure, and hard drive not found. That's doing well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the BIOS and change these options so it doesn't need to alert on this. Right, let's turn off keyboard error detection, we don't need that. Just running some quick tests to see if I can make some changes to stop it from doing it. Okay, I've just done a bit of research on these. Every time I boot this machine up, I'm getting a few errors. The first one is previous fan failure, then there's a rear fan failure. Got no rear fans in it. It is expecting a Dell fan which is in the original case. Also the power button cable failure, front I/O cable failure, and the hard drive not found. There is no front I/O on this case for what it's looking for. It is on the Dell case. And the power button failure, again it's not the Dell case, so it hasn't got the Dell power button, it has got a different one. There is no way of disabling these errors on boot from what I've seen, which is a right pain, which means I've got to take everything out of this case again and put it back in the original Dell case. Dell, why do you do this? If your case gets damaged, you want to recase it. If you want to put bigger equipment in, you want to recase it, you can't. You are locking this down to specific hardware, and if there's a failure, it means they've got to come to you and not just put in generic stuff which will work or it will work, but you are alerting it every time and there's no way to bypass that. So if you're not there, the system restarts, you come up with the alert and you can't get past it without pressing F1. Why are you doing this, Dell? It shouldn't be allowed. If somebody wants to reuse your equipment in a different case, they should be allowed to do this. It's going against everything for reuse, recycle, alright, and things like that. I'm just trying to make it so that we've got something which will fit properly. You can't even install a proper SSD in it without having all the brackets, which I don't have. I'm going to have to put these in the system in the original case, and I'm going to have to find a way of installing the 2.5 inch SSD in the original case and make it work. Bit of a waste of time, but I now know. So I'm just going to go and get this recased back in the original case and get that sorted. A bit of a learning curve for us, but that's what we're here to do. Right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.